The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Well, if that doesn't get a jump to your day, I don't know what I got to do to get you ready. What's up, Brigade? How are you? Welcome into the day that we call Roll Call Friday. He is Dave Sherapan. I am Matt Perrault, and this is the Bostonian versus the book. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the book, the same on Twitter, X, and replayed on Sports Grid Television.
No. First freeze is with 5 seconds into the show.
Already?
Can't be.
Already?
Hold on. Bam, you're back. That was the first freeze. All tickets cash. We
Sorry.
just got buried. They bet that's like getting a goal in the first 5 minutes. That's a big plus price. I mean,
Sorry. Cash the under, as Mr. Wallace
what
said.
the hell?
Sorry. On that. Live. I was too excited. Overloaded the system. Paused the system. It is a Friday. It is our day to recognize you guys in the Brigade. A little bit later on in the program, we're going to get to you guys on screen, where you are. Give us a message. What's happening in your life? What's happening in your world? Where are you? Weather report, whatever you want to give to us. Coming up later on with Roll Call Friday. It is a Preakness weekend, Dave.
Oh,
We got a guest coming on today talking about the Preakness.
We do. He's not
still
at
on a horse guy?
He's in LA, which is good. And I said, you know what? I'll wear some Dodger stuff maybe today and, make him feel at home if he's a Dodger fan or not. I don't know if he is. Freeway Series this weekend.
Yeah.
All the Major League Baseball is doing what they embracing rivalry weekend. So all the states teams are playing each other. The city teams are playing each other. White Sox, Cubs, Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Angels, Pirates, Phillies in the state of Pennsylvania. And your Red Sox get who?
Braves.
So bizarre.
No, it's not. If you know the history, though, it's not a rivalry, but there is no National League rivalry for the Red Sox.
Right.
Boston Braves. That's where they came from. So the Atlanta Braves are once the Boston Braves. That's why they do it. It makes no sense. But you do have Chris Sale against Garrett Crochet today, so you do have a hell of a matchup. Right. So on that level, the game's good, but the rivalry is not real. Like nobody is.
Yeah, Sale's pitching, right? I mean, so that'll be fun. Yeah, some good baseball, and of course, obviously, I mean, we have to mention the elephant in the room. The Celtics are playing at Boston or at the Knicks tonight, Madison Square Garden. Monster game. The hockey is what it is. We'll get to that. I don't know how long we'll be discussing that because I don't think it'll be long for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Oh.
I don't give them much chance. Sorry, Jimmy Football. And the rest of you guys up in Canada, which we will recognize at the end of the show with Roll Call Friday. We have no show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Got to take care of some things. Yeah. We will be back on Thursday, God willing, and everything will be fine. But today's high energy day. I need every single one of you in about 75 minutes, a 3-digit area code, where you're watching the show from. Shout out somebody you love. Say something fun, say something nice, because I become just like that guy where what's his name? Ron Burgundy, when he would just read it on the TV, just Anchorman, whatever's on that screen, like Jimmy Football's in the chat right now. And he said, I love it. Very smart move. Whatever that means. I don't even know what you're referring to. Jimmy Football,
he's talking about the baseball rivalries. He wishes the Premiership would do this, where you have all the rivals play each other. Is what he's talking about.
I'm good with it. Like somebody, I was on the Twitter this morning, and somebody said, "Oh, the Yankees should be playing the Red Sox." Like the Yankees and Red Sox already a rivalry. We don't need to see more of that. We don't need to see more of that.
I mean, this is what interleague used to be. We used to have interleague play was designed for this exact thing. So we've watered interleague down so much that this is what we thought we were getting back in the day when it was going to be unique, when a National League team played an American League team, when they don't like each other, especially Chicago and New York and LA, cities that have two teams, they're going to play over a weekend series. That's what we were, because remember, I mean, Dave and I are both old enough to remember a time when the National League and the American League didn't play each other. They never played each other. Okay?
Kids look it up. It is true.
They never played. So we've gone so far now where it's completely different. So, okay, good. There we go. Because Mike was on. Michael Joyce just logged on, but his camera was off. And I was like, are we doing audio only? Just got a text message that said they're having Wi-Fi issues at FanDuel TV at the moment.
Okay. So Michael Joyce of FanDuel TV Racing.
They're resetting the router.
Okay.
So hopefully,
listen, try everything.
Hey, Brendan, just a quick update. Okay. When we're going to talk about this, you guys are going to understand all this stuff later. Okay. So
absolutely.
I understand the point that you're making.
Yes.
I understand that you're kind of like, why are you guys taking so much time off? You're going to get it all and you'll understand. So just bear with us for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And when you do find out, you're going to go, oh, okay.
Yep.
So just heads up on that. It's not like we're going to the beach. Okay. Like, even though I did, go to the beach.
I wish.
So this is not vacation. These days off are not vacation at the moment. So just stay with us on this. I
stay with us and stay positive, boys.
Yes.
That's all we ask right now. Me specifically and Matt, peripherally, but we want to do the show every day. We have done the show every day for 4 years. We took our first time off, significant time off, a couple weeks ago, and it was 2 weeks, and it was too long. We both know it, and you guys know it. Yeah. So, Brendan, we all do appreciate the transparency. Yes.
We'll tell you all in time when it's time.
When it's time. Just stay with us. Keep showing up. Keep hitting the like button. Keep hitting the subscribe button. We saw a bunch of new faces in the chat yesterday while we were doing the show. That was awesome. Hopefully today we reached the numbers 36.5 number of states we can represent in the.
I like that.
Dot the map from different places. I think 3 countries is reasonable because I know we have down south. I know we have United States, and I know we have Canada. I don't know if Vinco will be here. Vinco Martin Savage from over there. He's been busy, got a new job, working different times, but we'll be here. We ain't going nowhere. So just hang with us.
Hang with us, and hopefully Mike Joyce will be joining us here in a couple of minutes as well. But before we do that,
to talk a little horse racing,
little ponies, little Preakness.
Apparently you did outstandingly swimmingly yesterday.
Why?
Somebody's look. Gus in Wakefield saw it. P-Roll BSing his way through that Betting Pros Preakness video is high comedy.
I'm glad that he picked up on that. So
Gus.
I'm glad you caught me, because I again, full transparency. They asked me to be on a horse racing show, and I was like, okay, I'll do a horse racing show. You guys know that my knowledge of horse racing is like epic. They're like, it's okay, you bet. It's okay. You're a gambler. Well, you bet on it? Sure, I'll bet on it. So you want to call it BSing my way through a 30-minute video? It's a good point. I was BSing my way.
Joe C. Myers is in the chat. I want to just recognize him right now. Not sure if I'll be here for it, so I'll go ahead and throw the 913 Fort Leavenworth, Kansas out there for Roll Call Friday. That's what each one of you are going to do in about 75 minutes. We're just state, city, weather report, everything. Whitrock, always forward, never straight. Hashtag BvB Brigade is with you. I feel it. I know it. That's good. Thanks, Whitrock.
I wonder if Mike can do it on his phone. He can do it. He can do it on his phone. He can do it on his phone.
Yeah, we've done before on the phone. Yeah. That would be great. Yeah, that would be fine.
Because they keep on logging in, and it's blank. There is no there's no camera. Okay. So he's been there, but he just hasn't turned the camera on. And normally that's a Wi-Fi issue they're having. So I'm like, get off Wi-Fi, use your phone. He's probably trying to use the set at FanDuel TV. And so they're having an issue there. So just go ahead and just do it on your phone and hop on and just talk to us. I mean, that's where we had Todd last time. Todd was at Churchill Downs.
Derby. He was at the Churchill Downs with the pointed things in the back. It was great.
So,
get that shot.
Hopefully we can get him on that.
Awesome.
But in the meantime, what happened last night? All right, what happened last night? The Denver Nuggets extended their series. They win Game 6. Got 29, 14, and 8 from Jokic. Game 7 on Sunday, OKC. This is going to be very interesting to see how the NBA, I mean, they may own this weekend, Dave. I mean, they could have 2 Game 7s on Sunday. I mean, not just one. You could have 2 Game 7s on Sunday. What do you make of Jokic? I mean, I felt like OKC was content with like we're gonna win the game at home. Like I didn't feel there was like maximum effort coming out of the Thunder last night at certain times in that game.
Full disclosure, I watched about 10 seconds of it.
Wow.
I did not watch that. I was locked in on the hockey.
Fair.
And I actually went out to dinner with all the girls yesterday. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna go sit. And,
you didn't miss much. I mean, I was
watching the score.
Yeah.
I never felt like OKC came back in the second quarter and took the lead. And then in the third quarter, Denver got control of the game a little, and it really felt like they were always going to win that game. So I didn't see it. Did you see anything from Denver last night that makes you think they are going on the road and winning a Game 7 on the road?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they have Jokic. They have the look. I know people are going to give the MVP to SGA. I disagree. I disagreed with it all year. I disagree with it in the series. SGA is an incredible player, but if we're going to call out Jason Tatum for the role players and the people that are around him and say he's not the MVP because of the roster he plays on, I have the same take with SGA. It's the same criticism, if you want to have it, if you want to call it that in terms of MVP, the Nuggets without Jokic are dead in the water and they have no shot. SGA is part of a very good roster with a lot of good teams. We got the Chet Holmgren. We got the Holmgren prop last night. Scored 19 points. Flew over his prop of 14 and a half. So we cashed that last night. Like, this team is built. It's young. They've got multiple first-round picks, multiple lottery picks up and down the roster. And the Nuggets, I mean, they have Gordon. Murray was awesome last night. And they've got the best player on the court. That's Jokic. Like, if I'm voting, I'm giving the MVP award to Jokic. And it's why there's a Game 7. There's a Game 7 because Nikola Jokic is playing for Denver.
The boys are lighting up the chat. Good to see you, Nick Tom. Yes, +8 is too much. Jokic got what he wanted when he wanted it. Jamal played incredibly as well. But he said the Gordon hammy is something to consider.
Fair.
Aaron Gordon is also questionable with a hamstring injury, which the Denver head coach is concerned about. Thank you, associate producer Nikki Ciramello. Man, I honestly don't know. I have both hats here, and I don't know which one to wear.
Thank you, Kevin. Game 7 would be Monday night for Boston and New York. I thought it was Sunday.
Wow.
So they take the whole weekend
off. 2 days off.
Saturday and Sunday, and then they play Monday.
Man, oh man, that's weird.
That's a weird night. But I guess Monday night, they figured they have the whole country to themselves with the Game 7.
There's KJR 305. He said, OKC's defense is too good. They'll win Game 7 Sunday or Game 7 Saturday.
They've already lost a home game. Again, this is the first Game 7 for a lot of these guys in terms of this stage of the playoffs.
Right.
Like, this is, we talked about this going in. The Thunder are, the Nuggets are battle tested. This is a championship team. This is a roster that understands pressure and how to play a 7-game series. For the Thunder, they're young. They're trying to figure out this playoff situation. And I feel like far too often they get runs going that they allow Jokic to just take over. And then you have Aaron Gordon, who's played really well in this series. And Jamal Murray is great. I mean, like, he in elimination games, his stats are unbelievable. He is one of the best clutch players. When his team is facing elimination, you want Jamal Murray on your team. And that, I think, is going to be a really big problem going forward in a Game 7 situation, because the Nuggets are going to be ready. Are the Thunder going to be ready for the pressure of a Game 7? I'm just not sure that's going to happen. Just not sure.
I don't know. I mean, guys in the chat, I see Fathead. He says Nuggets in 7. Type it in the chat, boys and girls. Who wins? Give me Nuggets +250 on a money line.
Is that what the price is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's 250.
7-point spread. Yeah.
My
7.5. Yeah.
goodness gracious.
Why, too high?
I will 100. I'll tell you right now, I'm taking the Nuggets. Give me the points. Not even a question in my mind. Give me the Nuggets. Like, they may not win, but 7? 7's too heavy.
Wow, Mr. Wobble came in and said Nuggets beat OKC and then lose to the T-Wolves. Wow.
What is that avatar? That's a
know,
wild. That's a wild avatar.
That's pretty sweet, Wobble.
That's pretty neat. Okay, put a pin in that for a second.
Yes,
I think we fixed it. I think Michael Joyce of FanDuel TV. I think we fixed it. I think we're good. I think we got him. Now he's not at the Preakness. He's in LA, so he's on West Coast time, just like us. So he's I think he's at Santa Anita. Is that where Michael is?
Yeah.
Oh my,
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
there
sir.
there he is. Michael
Yes.
Joyce, FanDuel TV, joining us here on the Boston University of the Book. What's up, dude? Thank you for sticking with us and working at it. We really appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, so I had to go to my iPad instead of the laptop. That's why I've got a terrible shot here. I'm a television guy. I don't like
You're
the
okay.
shot.
Take a shot. It looks good.
I'm gonna have to duck down so you get the paddock. So
there you
I'm
go.
on the laptop. So we're doing this I'm on the iPad. So we're doing this all from memory because my past performances are on the thing where I'm looking at you two guys now. So hopefully I don't forget anything.
That's fine.
Fire away.
The stogie looks great. You look great. The shot is fine. Have no fear. You fought the traffic and you're there. That's most important. Now, Saturday.
Yes.
Pimlico.
Yes.
The Preakness.
Yes.
Is anybody going to beat journalism, Mikey?
Look, I like everything about journalism except for the price, and that was my stance on him in the Derby. I liked everything about him but the price. He's going to be a worse price in the Preakness. The Preakness is always the easiest jewel of the Triple Crown, right? So how many Derby winners did we see win the Preakness and do so decisively, and then they couldn't quite get the deal done in the Belmont, right? So the Preakness is usually the easiest. The problem with this year's Preakness, though, is that I don't know if journalism is he's going to get a great trip because of the way he moves, right? He's going to get whatever setup he needs because he can be close to the pace. He can be off of it. Everyone thinks he's this dead closer. If you go back and look at his Los Al Futurity as a 2-year-old, he was right in the body of the race from the get-go. It was a short field. There were 2 Baffert speed horses with Gaming and Madaket Road in there. And he can sit close if he needs. That's not the problem. The problem to me is I think there's just too many fresh legs in there. I think River Thames is a supremely talented horse, and we're going to see a great performance from him. And I think when they turn for home, River Thames might have 3 or 4 lengths on him, right? So I think a scenario like that. Is he the best horse? Yes. Should he win the Preakness? Yes. Would I recommend wagering on him even with your money? Absolutely not.
What about his post position? Are you concerned at all as to where journalism is going to break from the rail? Is that at all of a concern for you?
Not really. He's first of all, he's a better horse than the rail could compromise him at 1 mile and 3/16 at Pimlico. Second of all, it's a smaller field. It's not like the Derby where there's 20 horses, right? You have less than half of that in the Preakness. So he'll be fine. There's not so much speed, right to his outside that he's going to get shuffled way back and be out the back. And even if he is, he'll be fine. So I'm not worried about the post position at all. I don't think the connections are worried about the post position at all. Look, he's the real deal. He's an excellent horse. He ran a brilliant race in the Derby. There was nothing wrong with his Derby. Just at 1.25 miles on that day, Sovereignty was better. And I think Sovereignty might be a better 1.25 mile horse. I think if you match Sovereignty and Journalism up at 1.125 miles, those two are a little bit closer. 1 mile and 3/16, that's right in between. I think at this distance in this field, Journalism is the best horse. But I think there's a possibility to beat him. And from a wager perspective, if I can get 5 or 6 to 1 on River Thames, then I'm going to go in that direction.
So we have, a heavy sports betting audience. I've worked in the books here in Vegas for almost 2 decades. I love the horses, but I'm not a horse guy. And we're trying to bring people into this world and stuff. A question that a lot of our viewers have and people, watching, why isn't Sovereignty running in this race?
So this is what I'm going to say about the Triple Crown and how it's constituted, and there's calls for them to change it, is that the Triple Crown is a very difficult thing to do. And there's nothing about it that says you have to attempt it every year. Okay, Sovereignty, the reason he's not going in the Preakness has something to do with the kind of horse he is and the way he runs. He is a big horse. He is a heavy horse. He is a grinder, right? His turn of foot is not so electric where he looks like a sports car accelerating in the final 3/16. He just keeps coming at you and keeps going. He closes at a rate that's just gradually faster than everybody else's. So at a mile and a 16th, he doesn't look so spectacular. But when you stretch it out to a mile and a quarter, that big stride gobbling up the ground. The way he comes out of that race, according to Bill Mott, he didn't come out poorly, but he's just a horse. He's going to do better on 5 weeks than 2. They don't really value making that Triple Crown attempt if they think it would compromise the horse's ability in the Belmont, right? They would rather have their primo A+ game for the Derby, their primo A+ game for the Belmont, than having their primo A+ game for the Derby, their B- game for the Preakness, and then have an empty horse in the Belmont. So it's horse to horse. These are individuals. These are athletes. They're not machines. Journalism. He's a little more athletic than Sovereignty. He's just very well put together. And they were always pointed for the Preakness, hell or high water. They knew they had a horse that could come back in 2 weeks. They kind of saved him and managed him for a Triple Crown campaign. Not that Bill Mott didn't with Sovereignty, but they're just two different kinds of animals.
So journalism went into the Derby. Obviously, a lot of people like journalism. They like Sovereignty, but Sandman was also pretty popular. I mean, the Metallica connection obviously got a lot of people's, eyeballs going at that horse. He didn't run well at the Derby. Do you expect Sandman to bounce back?
He will run better in the Preakness than the Derby. And that is solely because what I know of Mark Casse. The way that he has trained this horse, I think the horse has some foot issues. It's not a big deal. I think outside the sport, everyone's like, oh, foot issues. They're athletes, right? It's like every player in the NBA has, he's got a sprained ankle, a jacked up finger. Every pitcher and catcher have nicks and dings on them. Every football player, there's a difference between hurt and injured in the NFL, right? If you're hurt, you can play. If you're injured, you can't. But everyone deals with something. So with horses, they run on their feet. They have, quarter cracks, or they have this, that. So he's got, questionable feet, nothing bad, nothing dangerous, nothing serious. So I think that, he gaps those workouts 10 days apart. I think because of the way Mark Casse's been training him, and Mark Casse being a brilliant trainer and one of the best to ever throw a saddle over the horse, I would be surprised if he doesn't improve in the Preakness from the Derby. He didn't have a great trip in the Derby. He also didn't fire his best shot. I also think that as things stand right now with this 3-year-old crop, I think he's that second tier. He's not quite that top tier 3-year-old. I don't think he's in the journalism, Sovereignty, and I'll even throw Baeza in that upper tier. I think he's maybe like the B team. So I don't know that he gets the best of journalism on the square tomorrow, but I think some of the new shooters, I'm not giving a lot of credence to Heart of Honor. It's a great story with Jamie and Safi Osborne. It's a father-daughter duo. Jamie Osborne, he's a British guy, but he was a great jumps jockey back in the day. I'm not enthralled with goal-oriented, but we've seen Baffert do this before, come in with a new shooter in the Preakness. He's won more Preaknesses than anyone. I think Clever Again, that's a horse. I probably would put Clever Again in front of Sandman on raw talent and ability, and the way that, he ran his last race at Oaklawn, and they probably put a big circle on the Preakness knowing that they didn't have a Derby horse with him.
Mikey, I've heard so many things as to why to bet on a horse, like in the books. I mean, sitting in the books and with horse bettors is just an absolute joy because you hear a lot of nonsense. You hear some good things here and there.
I live for the nonsense.
It's fantastic. How much stock do you put into the jockeys? I know you do a lot of work with the jockey stuff, but you hear, oh, this guy's riding him, or this guy's on this horse. Now I really like this horse. Or you hear other guys say about this guy, he wouldn't be able to drive a horse to the win with no one else on the track. Do you weigh your handicapping with or without the jockeys and being a part of it?
Yeah, I put a lot of weight into the presence of certain riders. There have been very few riders in my lifetime that I would look at them and they would get on a horse and they would move a horse up. It's the most rare of abilities. And right now, I think, you have maybe a couple of guys in the game that do that. Like Flavien Prat, he can move a horse up, right? He can make that horse appear better. Jose Ortiz, right? You go from an average jockey to him, he can move that horse up a little bit. I think the best back in the day at the height of his powers, Kent DeSormo. And
right.
And you would see it handicapping. Like he would get on a horse and they would improve by 4 lengths. They just love to run from. And some of the smaller jockeys back in the day, like a Julie Crone or a Pat Day, when they get in the irons, the horses would just run for him. Like Rafael Bejarano, people are very critical of his riding skills, but I'll tell you what, horses run for him, right? So I do put a lot of stock in the jockey. And it's not as big of a risk to put too much stock in the jockey as other handicapping angles. Because I have a lot of guys that say, hey, it's horse racing, it's not jockey racing. Yeah, jockeys can be maybe, as little as 1% of the equation to as much as 10% of the equation. But they're the 1 to 10% that's making decisions in the heat of the moment. So their decision-making ability is of the utmost import. And when jockeys are hot, they get better mounts, right? When jockeys are winning more, right, they can press their business. Their agents can get them on those live runners. Trainers that weren't using them perhaps last month see him win 5 races in a week. Like, all right, you know what? My other guy's on this other horse. Let's put him on this live one, right? Like, so it does make a lot of sense, right? And new people going to the racetrack. My brother is also in racing. He used to be general manager at multiple racetracks. He has his own racing company in Wyoming. But when he would bring new people to the track, he would always say, if you can find the leading rider on a horse at 5 to 1 or better, bet him. Because that jockey and his agent, if they're the leading rider, probably have their pick of mounts in that race. And if he's ending up on one that's a little bit of a price, they probably see or know something that isn't readily apparent.
Mike, as Dave said, we've got people that are maybe new to horse racing or haven't placed a bet before. If I'm going to the window, give me a fun bet for the Preakness that you like. Give me an exacta, a box, something that you like, because I've heard Pay Billy, I've heard Heart of Honor, you talked about River Thames. There's going to be some 10 to 1 or longer shots in this race, right?
So I will say this: all of this stuff that I do for a living, right? You can tell people how great it is and how you can come up with stuff. The only person I know who had Country House in the Kentucky Derby the year that he won by DQ when they took the garland of roses off of the back of Maximum Security was my sister-in-law, and that's because she subscribed to Country House magazine. So never let those angles go, my friend. Okay, so whatever we do, that worked better that day. So never forget that. If you like a horse, if you like the name of American Promise because you're patriotic, bet them to win. If you don't got the stomach for it, bet them to place or bet them to show. If what you want to see is the ball go through the hoop and you want to get it, just bet straight. Okay, if you want something, to root for, like the entry into exotic wagering. There's 2 exotic wagers that are there. The Daily Double and the Exacting. Daily Double, very simple, right? Whatever 2 races that wager links up, you got to have the winner in each one. You can use as many horses as you want in each one. It's going to cost more per horse. Single race wager, since we're dealing with the Preakness, yeah, I'll give you an Exacta. I'm going to play River Thames on top. I'm going to say he is my pick, my bet. I'll bet him to win. He's 9 to 2 morning line. I hope I get a little more than that. We'll see. The wagering is going to be funny because journalism is going to get bet down to about even money or 6 to 5. Yep. And then every other horse seems to be fighting for the role of second choice. Could be Clever Again, Sandman, River Thames, or Goal Oriented. One of those 4 is going to be second choice. That means one of those 4 horses is going to be 5 to 1. I'm hoping it's River Thames. I don't know that it's going to be, but I'm hoping it is. So I'm going to play River Thames, and I'm not so dumb that I think journalism is going to lay an egg. I think he's going to be right there. So I'm going to play an Exacta. I'll play River Thames over journalism. So that's a 6-2 Exacta. And then I'll come back with a 6-8 Exacta. River Thames over Clever Again. And then I'll reverse that and go Clever Again over River Thames. So you do like an Exacta box 6-8 and then do it one more time 6/2.
Oh, a couple years ago, I, for some reason, decided to hit the all button on top, Mike, when Rich Strike won the Kentucky Derby.
That was a great day.
It was unbelievable. Okay.
That's a great day.
And I've been chasing that win, Mikey, since. Like, I don't know how to hit an 80 to 1 bomb on the top and actually key 4 horses and 4 horses underneath and win the ticket. Okay. Is there a bomb in this, or should we just conservatively bet this, like you just said, not worry about trying to beat the favorite? I mean, journalism's coming in 1 or 2. There's right. It doesn't look like there's anybody there to push him to finish 3rd. So yeah. I don't think this is one of those, like, let's make it up type deal, big number. You?
I don't. I don't think, I mean, if you think there's a bomb in there, right, you just do what you do and just backwheel journalism and take all with journalism underneath and hope journalism runs his race. And then you get Gosker at 20 to 1 or something to just get him at the wire. Right. So if you want to take that approach, and there are plenty of people out there that will spend. I do the wrong thing. I spend 90% of my time handicapping, 10% putting tickets together. Guys I know that are really good horse players, and you'd think I'd learn from this, but I'm young and stubborn sometimes. They will spend 10% of their time handicapping, and then 90% of their time mapping out the plays and how they wager. Yeah. Right, the wagering is far more important. And in my lifetime, I've probably met, a handful of guys that are, can make a living just playing ponies.
Yeah,
and all of them, none of them blew me away with their handicapping prowess. They all blew me away. The way they wagered and structured.
They're different
tickets.
people, Mike. They're different people.
Yeah.
They see things like Rain Man, like CC.
Yeah.
You can't explain it to people on a like this is a master's level, PhD level explanation, right?
Right. Yeah. It's crazy, and they also they're not risk averse in any way, shape, or form.
Right, which isn't always a good thing. I mean,
no, it's not. But it's you can't be like a compulsive like I'm just in it for the juice kind of guy.
Right.
You have to be very meticulous and disciplined. Yes. But at the same time, you have to not be risk averse because it is gambling, and that is just the rarest of combinations, right? If somebody's risk averse, they're probably not going to gamble. If somebody's like, hey, like I want my action, and I'm going to go play, they're probably not going to be conservative, right? So. When you get that meticulous, very disciplined, kind of guy who's also not risk averse, that's kind of the perfect formula for a successful horse player.
You have any worries about the weather? Any concerns about what the track will look like?
Not at this level. I mean, we talk about it unless it comes out up a mud bog. I think they're going to get scattered showers. I don't think you're going to look at sloppy I don't even know that they're going to have to seal the track at this point. Hopefully they don't. And when they seal it, that's when they kind of tamp it down. They put the big heavy metal plates down and they pack all the dirt so the water just rolls off the top. And really, none of these horses, they're all very good horses. They'll all run their race. It's a 9-horse field, not a 20-horse field. So even though there's going to be some kickback and some slop, I think these riders will be able to keep their horses relatively free of traffic trouble. So I'm not too worried about that, unless it creates just an insanely unfair bias favoring one form of a runner or another. I mean, you can make the case that on Derby Day, the last several races, the track was really playing to closers, right? The speed was just having a really tough time in that kind of sloppy, muddy track. But I don't think anyone would argue that the 3 best horses in the Derby didn't finish 1, 2, 3. So even if there is a bias like that, these horses are so good, they should probably overcome it.
Last one for me, sir. It's a 2-part question. One, do you have anything for the Black-Eyed Susan, which is, the race today and then, to tomorrow? And 2, what was it like growing up the youngest of 13? Because that was in the bio. Youngest of 13. No one would believe that. So
that is true.
Give you a second to look over for the Black-Eyed Susan, but I'm more interested in the answer to the second question.
So to give you an idea of what it's like to be the youngest of 13. I was in college before I ever experienced the sensation of sitting on a cold toilet seat.
That's pretty good.
That should tell you all you know. I am very uncreative in the Black-Eyed Susan.
Okay.
I like Amarth, Amarth. I can never say her name right. Eddie Keneally and Luis Saez. I just think she's a very good horse going in the right direction. I will say this: Margie's Intention, good horse. She's gonna get bet off the board, Flavian and Brad Cox. So she will be bad odds. And I would not sleep on Princess Aaliyah for Wayne Lucas and Nick Juarez. I would use her the 2 horse. She's at 17-1 currently for the odds. But
I like that, right?
Yeah, I would definitely throw her in the mix. This is the kind of race and the kind of day where Wayne Lucas reminds all these young whippersnappers at the tender age of 89 that he is still the greatest to ever throw a saddle over the horse.
Okay.
And and we see him. He wins big races at big numbers because he doesn't care how your horses are doing. He doesn't care who's in the race. His horse is good. He's going to go, and you got to deal with it.
Mike, the chat wants to know if you ever had new clothes as a kid, or were you constantly getting hand-me-downs as the youngest of 13?
I got hand-me-downs until I was in my 30s. Are you kidding me? Why would you ever go to a clothing store? Why would you ever do that?
I love it.
Yeah, I would just, as I hit, I hit different sizes. I would just go like, all right, now my brother Pat's size. Like, oh, I grew a few inches. I'm going to go to Tim's closet, grab something out of there. Like, oh, hey, look at me. I'm hitting 6 foot. I better go check out Paulie's wardrobe.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Mike, what is your day, your weekend going to look like tomorrow with FanDuel TV? What are you going to be doing? And secondly, if you had to pick one track, we went to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup last year. It looks like we're headed back again this year, hopefully to be there to do our show from there. It was a truly unbelievable experience for both Dave and I to go and see that track. But if you had to pick one track to be at, where would you want to be? What's your favorite track?
So Del Mar is my favorite track. That is it's bar none. And then I could really get like deep in the weeds and start talking about like bush tracks in Idaho and Wyoming and Utah when I was growing up. Hit up like Laurel Brown or Wyoming Downs or something like that. If you want the biggest slice of Americana, you got to do a Labor Day in Ruidoso Downs, New Mexico. Check out the All-American Futurity. Quarter horses going 440 yards. It was the first $1 million race. Even though my dad invented the first $1 million thoroughbred race, that was 3 years after the All-American Futurity hit $1 million. And that's every Labor Day, and it's one of the greatest horse races the entire world over. But Del Mar is my favorite track. Honorable mention to shout out to my quarter horse peeps, Ruidoso Downs in Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Very cool. Did you say your dad invented the first $1 million race?
My dad created the Arlington Million, which was the first $1 million thoroughbred race.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So that was 1981. He was, at the time, he had been running Arlington and a bunch of racetracks for Gulf and Western, Madison Square Garden. He worked for Charlie Bludorn, and then afterwards he was working for Sonny Werblin when Sonny Werblin was running the Garden. And it was my dad, Sonny Werblin, Joe Hirsch, Mike Rorty, who was the chief marketing officer of Budweiser that sponsored everything that took Budweiser to like a 50% market share. And then one other guy, Art Watson, who was the president of NBC Sports. The five of them, my dad had the idea. He pitched it to Sonny Werblin with those other four guys at the table. He knew he had to get the consecration from Joe Hirsch because Sonny Werblin also owned the Jets. And Joe Hirsch, who created the National Turf Writers Association, one of the most famous turf writers of all time, his roommate was a bachelor football player by the name of Joe Namath.
No way.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So my dad knew if he had Joe Hirsch saying, yeah, we're going to do this, Sonny Werblin would listen.
How about that? That's tremendous.
Cool story. Wow.
Mike, thank you for joining us. This was awesome. We will do this again. Enjoy the race tomorrow. Should be a ton of fun. Enjoy the weather out there at San Antonio. It looks gorgeous behind you.
Yeah, and thanks for sitting through my lack of an IT department here on the set. But hey, who knew they had the internet on computers now?
We pulled it off.
It's all good, my friend. Thank you so much. That is
All
Michael Joyce from FanDuel TV joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. Oh, sorry, I hit that too soon for us here on BvB. Great to get him on the program. Are you going to be betting on Saturday, Dave? Are you betting the Preakness?
Yeah, I haven't figured out exactly. When he started talking about the people with the handicapping versus the betting, that's me. Like, I don't want to dive into the 20 past performances. I don't want to look at this. I don't care who the mama and the daddy are, all that other stuff. I mean, it's good information to know.
Bet the gray? No? Don't bet the gray?
Just keep it basic. I mean, I just picked up a couple bits and pieces.
Okay.
So you got to use the 1, the 6,
and the 8.
The 8, right? That's what he just threw out there to go with journalism. So it might be a 2 with 168 with all, and then the all with 168 with 2, and put journalism in the top 3. The biggest surprise of what will happen in this race on Saturday is that journalism won't hit the board.
How much money, if I do a $1 ticket for all above and journalism underneath, what's that ticket going to run me?
For an exacta, it's there's 8 horses in a race, $16.
And that's going to pay you what if it hits?
Well,
it depends on who wins, I guess.
It could pay you 12.
Yeah, $12. Right?
I mean, if it comes chalk.
Okay.
It's going to pay $12 or what, you're going to lose a little bit. But if the 20 to 1 comes on top, the 15 to 1 comes on top, it's going to pay more than not than you're betting. Dave's Daily Pick said it'll be $8. Yeah, I mean, if you spend, it will cost $8 if you don't box it. Yeah, if you don't box it, if you hit all over 2, And
See,
exacta.
This is where I think from a growth perspective with horse racing, as so many new people have entered the gambling space. And so I feel like we're now in like the third inning of education from a public standpoint, because, for a while people were like, what is minus 110? Like that they walk in, they look at the board, they see all these numbers. They're like, oh my gosh, that's 10,000 numbers. What does this mean? Well, now I think most people who walk into sports books, they know minus 110, $110 to win 100. They figured out that. They're still not good with European odds. They're still not fully comfortable with that, which is what a lot of the horse racing is still in European odds in terms of what it means. So I wonder if horse racing would ever adapt American odds in terms of how the payouts go to make it more accessible for newbie players. The old school people will freak out, but I wonder if there will be a book that will do that. And then I wonder if are we going to have some more, like when you bet $10, you don't know what you're going to win, and people have a hard time with that. Like
so fixed odds horse racing.
Yep.
They're trying to institute that in certain places,
and it's not working.
No, it's not. Some books will offer it.
Yeah.
Will offer, Preakness odds on the horses to win the race. They're locked.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always benefit you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There's tremendous, every time I Google it, horse racing calculator.
Yep.
You just pull it up and and then you can type your tickets on your phone and see how much it's going to cost you. So I do that every time now. And I almost know what it's going to cost when I do 3 horses over 1 overall. There's a lot of calculations in there. So
see, for the Derby, I did fixed odds. I bought a minus 130 ticket for Sovereignty, Journalism, and one other horse I can't remember, but to come in to win. So I had 3 horses to win at minus 130.
Oh,
and Sovereignty won. So
okay.
I cashed that. First time I'd ever played fixed odds with that, because it was like, all right, I get 3 horses of the 20. I thought I got the top 2 horses in Sovereignty and Journalism.
Right.
Didn't want to pick between the 2. And I just picked it late at minus 130. It cashed. It could have paid differently if I had created a ticket that was more on the parimutuel side of things, which would be a box or an all or on those lines. It's just, Ken Miller, who has been on this show and who we know really well in Iowa, and I worked with for the Matt and Miller show in Des Moines, Ken invented a bet for horse racing. Like that's what, and sold it to your former company, CG, Kenneth Fitzgerald. So like that, I think is such a unique part of horse racing, is that it's not just about who wins. There are so many different ways of figuring bets out that pay out certain things. There is a puzzle, as you and Mikey were talking about. There's a puzzle to be played when it comes to horse racing that some people really do enjoy.
Oh yeah. There's so many things that go into it. They take out a big percentage. The tracks take out a big percentage, so it's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
So you got to do exotics sometimes. And then Josie Myers just came in and said, the other problem with horse racing is these last second syndicates and bots that drive odds through the floor. This is true. So KJR 305, yeah, Joe Myers, the bots have messed up lines right before closing. When you go to make your bet, and we were doing it at Delmar, trying to wait to see, all right, what is this horse going to be? It's 3-1. Perfect. Let's put the bet in. They get in the gate, they close, the betting, they go out the gate, and it's, 2-1. Like once all the money gets in there and this and that, it very rarely do you go, all right, I'm running up to the window. I like that horse. It's 3-1. And then it goes off and you get 6-1. So it doesn't, it's really hard for the novice to get indoctrinated into it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's because there's a lot of gray area, vagueness, blah, 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 blah. So what's that? Oh, that's Jeremy. Good. That was good. Yeah, I thought that was great. Mike was great.
It was tremendous. He just said thank you for us to bearing with him with that. But I'm glad. That's why I sent that text to Jeremy. I was like, just have him get on his phone. Like, it's okay.
I'll go there every Saturday if he wants us to go do a show and hang out at Santa.
Well,
awesome.
I think that was a show that a lot of people paid attention to. I know for Amanda, that was the one show. She'd never been jealous of us doing shows before that. Like she was like, I want to be where you guys are at. Like she was 100% in. She's
Yeah.
like, I got to go with you guys next time because, and she could care less. Like we went to Reno and other places. Like she's like, man,
Yeah.
Del Mar. She was like, okay. She's like, that was wild where you guys were set up and what we were experiencing. And for me, like you said it to me before, they're like, you're walking into the Super Bowl, you're walking into the creme de la creme of horse tracks. Like it goes down from here. Like I had been to a bunch of tracks. I mean, the first bet I ever made was at Rockingham Park in New Hampshire. So I've been to horse tracks before, but I never really, I mean, I've been to Exarban in Omaha. Like I had been to like, you know, the tracks of America. And then Del Mar, which I don't know, there's just something about being there. You know, whether it be, I guess it was the Bing Crosby song that we listened to, and the fact that we saw the train, and you see the beach, and you see the track, and then you see the people, and it's not, there's a lot of people there, but it's not an overwhelming number of people that makes it uncomfortable to move around.
It was intimate.
Yeah, that's the best word for it.
There's something about that place that you feel the history. It smells different between all the food mix and all the other stuff where the surf meets the turf. And there's history there that you can feel. And the energy for Breeders' Cup was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and the amount of money walking around that place.
Oh,
you know, it's absurd between owners and trainers and all this stuff. It's going to be hard to live up to. Like we could go to Gulfstream and you'd be like, okay, I mean, that's nice, but it's not Del Mar. Like every track that I've ever been to has been like, but it's not Del Mar. So you started at the top.
Yeah,
but,
I'm good with that. And I hope we do go back again this year.
Oh, I hope and pray we go back.
It would be awesome to be back there again, to check out that environment and knowing what I'm walking into now.
Yeah.
Being well more prepared. And I don't know, like I've always been attracted to things that kind of give you a throwback feel. And you know, getting to dress up, you get the hat and you get the jacket and you get the environment, you get the guys and the women and the hats, and like there's just a lot of fun. Like I will love the Derby. I've never been to the Derby, but I would love to go when I go. But I know I'm gonna say there's too many bleeping people here for the Kentucky Derby. Like being around 200,000 people,
not good for you.
Not good for me. I don't like crowds. Crowds at me don't go well. So I thought the amount of people that were at the Breeders' Cup was perfect. I was like, this is great. It's busy. Awesome. There's a lot of people, but the lines at the window weren't bad. Like we didn't have to wait an hour to bet.
No.
So you had multiple windows that were open. You had, you know, all these different food. The merchandise tent was a bit absurd, but that's fine. That's can be expected.
Right.
Some of the things that were crazy.
Yes.
So, I mean, that
and we had a nice hookup. Jeremy did an unbelievable job.
Oh my gosh, did he ever?
I mean, he was aces. I mean, just couldn't have made it any smoother for us. I mean, you know, all we had to do was get there. Once we got there, I mean, it was like the royal treatment. You know, we got walked, you know, upstairs to the press box and had a meal and sat down and discussed what we were going to do in the show and who was booked and all this other stuff. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, I got you this spot." And then we went down and set up the cameras and we were like, "Wait, we're staying right here?"
Yeah.
And I kept telling you, remember, he brought that light over and I'm like, this may be the best place. Wait till you see what happens here. Because we were doing it. No one was there.
Yeah. No one was there. And then all of a sudden it was, the paddock was full and it was like the horses being walked past us. It was awesome. It was such an awesome place for us to broadcast the show from. And I mean, I learned a lot doing that show. I as a tech guy and audio guy, I learned a lot about how we were going to produce that show. So next year I'll be well versed in how to go and do that. And a couple of things I'm already eyeballing and thinking in my head about how do we change the shot and how do we change the audio and just different things that we're going to do. But it was so easy to get in and out, kind of almost too easy to get in and out.
We did Friday. And Saturday is the main day with the big races too. So it's a little bit different feel. There's probably a little more people and a little more hustle bustle. But either way, like if we could figure out how to get to Del Mar in July, or August or something, like that would be a nice little jet over and spend a day. And, you know, we could do videos, whatever. I think the way to bring horse racing back is to take people to the track.
Fair. I would agree.
Like we could take them to the book and watch the races and hang out and fire different things. But it's like sports, really. I mean,
It is sports.
when
Yeah.
you go to a hockey game, you in person, you become like more of a fan, or you get it more. Horse racing has to find a way to get people to the track for it to continue to survive, because it's really having a tough time.
I would agree. Good stuff there, Adam. Mike, appreciate it. We're watching him on FanDuel TV all weekend talking about the Preakness. We were talking basketball. We'll move to hockey. The Jets shut out the Stars 4-0. The under comes in like I thought it would. Series goes,
That was perfect.
series goes back to Dallas.
Yeah.
It's over in 6, right?
For Dallas's sake, it better be.
Okay.
My observation of that, and I watched a lot of the game exclusively. Once I got off Sports Grid with Wetzel, I was like, you know what? I'm watching a hockey game. I had a Dodger game on, and I was over like in the third inning. They took out the starters.
Hold on.
in the
I'll
Dodger
talk
game.
about that.
But they needed the Hellebuck night,
Mm-hmm.
and they got it.
Or did they ever?
He got the shutout, and he was like, he snapped a couple glove saves. He brought him back. I used to love when goalies did that when they were on my team, but when the other guy did it, I wanted to go skating, spray snow in his face. I mean, he had that place ready. If Dallas loses game 6, Winnipeg is going to win game 7 at home. I really feel that way.
I agree with you. Hellebuck at home wins that game. I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
You better win game 6 in Dallas. You better not be going back for a game 7.
Yeah. Hockey.
That's the theory of the weekend. Like that is literally the story of the weekend. You better win game 6 if you're at home. You don't want to go on the road for a game 7. Like that's
I mean, so of the teams that could win a game 7 on the road, I give Dallas a decent shot, like a better than like I give
I don't. Not against Hellebuck at home. I don't. No, Hellebuck at home is a wall.
Do you give the Knicks more of a shot at winning a basketball game in game 7?
I do, but I don't give them much of a shot.
Okay.
I mean, you better win tonight. We'll get to it later, but the Knicks.
It's going to be the Dallas price. The Stars price is going to be the smallest. Like the Jets are going to be what, minus 130?
Yeah, give me the Jets all day long.
Okay.
Hellebuck at home. He's a different goaltender. Dallas has to take advantage of that on the road. They got to get the score first, get the crowd into it, and then make Hellebuck be shaky, because he has absolutely been shaky in the playoffs and in the last 2 months on the road. So Dallas win game 6. Don't play game 7. Bad. If you have to.
Asking me right now, the games tomorrow, I think Dallas wins game 6.
Woo, baby.
I think they do. I think
I
Dallas
would agree.
do. Yeah.
I would agree. I think that's true. And then I would take Winnipeg game 7. But I think sorry. Dallas wins game 6, series is over. Sorry.
Right.
Yes, Dallas wins at home, series is over.
Yeah.
Hurricanes closed out the Caps last night in game 5. That was a little too easy. That was what happened.
It was crazy because it was a really good series. Like, Washington was just a little bit behind. They just couldn't get the next goal.
90 seconds left. You give
it was
90
brutal.
seconds left
From the goal line. He was on the goal line. It was a parallel shot to the net. It was such a bad goal. Just unfortunate situation. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I did the hockey show with Carver earlier this morning on Sports Grid, and we talked about this. Carolina's good, but I don't feel like Carolina's great. I don't think I don't think Carolina's going to beat Florida. I don't. Florida's actually favored in the series without home ice against Carolina. Now, will Carolina beat Toronto? If Toronto somehow finds a way to win game 6 and then goes and wins game 7, Toronto will have home ice. You guys will have to remind me, because it might happen on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So tweet at me at SportsBeatCake and Sig, tag Matt at Sports Talk Matt, tag the show at Boston versus the Book. An all-in play, and I never really say that, it will be an all-in on Carolina to beat the Toronto Maple Leafs. Nothing personal, Toronto. The Canes are boring, Eron, Sean. You know what wins hockey games?
Boring.
May? Sometimes boring. They're getting the goaltending. They take minimal chances.
In Rod, we trust, right? Yeah. Who cares? I mean, Brendan Moore, you got a great coach. You have an experienced team. No one knows a single player on that roster. The public has no clue who the Hurricanes are, and all they do is win. Like Ovechkin showed his age. Sure. Yeah. I think that's a fair point.
I saw in Ovechkin's 20-year career, one time the Caps have got past the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, they won the cup.
One time they won the cup.
They won the cup that year. Yeah.
That's it.
That's the knock on his career. That's always been the knock with him versus if you're comparing careers between him and other elite players of the time, namely Crosby. That's the biggest discrepancy. He's a regular season guy with unbelievable stats, but come the playoffs, the Capitals, and they beat the Golden Knights when the Golden Knights were banged up. Like the Knights were just not even, they were a shell of themselves when they got to the Cup finals.
Right.
So it was year one. So that was just not,
Is there anyone in the chat, anyone watching the show anywhere, wherever you're at? And we're going to do Roll Call Friday in about 30 minutes or so. But does anyone think Toronto can win tonight?
No.
So we get Florida and Carolina.
I'm pushing it even farther. We'll do better to book it in a second, but I'm going even farther on that. I'm not betting on the weather, Brendan. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. I guess who tagged me on that tweet? Was CBW or somebody tagged me on that tweet that Cauchy is reporting that they're doing more money on weather futures than they are in hockey?
People love to bet the weather.
It's just the dumbest thing ever.
I swear, the people behind Cauchy have to have origins in offshore. We did all that stuff. When there's nobody telling you that you can or cannot do anything.
Right.
Hey,
better take it all.
Bet what the high temperature is going to be today. People will bet it. Yeah. 75.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely fundamentally ridiculous.
Like
You mentioned it about what happened last night in the baseball game in LA. It was wild. And, well, our guy just keeps on producing. Well, Ohtani watch. He did what we thought he might do to the Oakland A's. 2 more home runs for Ohtani. He drove in 6 last night on his bobblehead night.
Absurd.
19-2, Dave, the final score.
What this guy do?
19-2.
What can't he do?
Ty Judge for the lead going into today for the Major League Baseball lead in home runs with 15.
Yeah, I don't even know. Just running out of things to say about it. I mean, we do an Ohtani watch every day, and thank you all you guys in Japan that are watching us and finding us because of the Ohtani watch. We love it.
What's wrong with
it? Almost looks too easy, Vic.
I mean, the second home run, the first home run was awesome. The second home run, he didn't even get all the ball.
That's what I mean. Like when you
get all of it,
he like just flicks his wrist and the ball goes over the fence. And you're just like, how did he do that?
Well, he was fooled. I mean, he read fastball. It was a sinker. He hit it out the end of the bat and it went over it was 415 feet, right over the center field wall.
It don't make sense.
Just like golfed it out of the ballpark for a second home run.
One-star Goroff threw a 20-pitch bullpen before the game too. What, just to get loose?
Just for the hell of it, just to show out,
But did you see what happened at the end of the game?
What, sorry?
So, did you see what happened at the end of the game?
No. It was 19-2. What was I watching the end of the game?
So they put in a position player.
The pitch? Okay.
He struck out Ohtani.
Oh, wow. Really?
It was so funny because Ohtani's so locked in and dialed in.
He must have been trying to hit a home run to go.
He was trying to just hit the ball because like the first pitch was not even like, wild thing, kind of not even close. Like,
okay.
Ohtani must have been like, I ain't getting hit with a pitch. I don't know what this dude's doing. Then he threw a strike and he swung and missed. Then he threw another ball and then he threw him a ball that he fouled off. And then, my goodness, he threw him a high fastball, and Ohtani swung and threw it and missed it.
Wow.
And the announcer was like, oh, my goodness. Like, nobody could believe it that he struck out. So it was
19-2.
Cool. 19-2.
The thing that's interesting, I was listening to the A's broadcast last night because we get that here in Vegas. And they brought up the Barry Bonds thing. And that's making its way around now a lot more. I feel like that's the conversation being had as to the single greatest baseball player that anyone of our lifetime have seen. And up to this point, it's been Barry Bonds. And from a pure hitting perspective, the broadcasters were saying that they still would go and lean into Barry Bonds as being the best pure hitter. But all around baseball right now, because of Ohtani's consistency, that he's starting to get the idea that he's the greatest baseball player of our lifetime. That what he has done is everyone who's seeing it with their own eyes and watching it, they're going, yeah, Bonds could really hit. He was incredible. But what Ohtani does from a discipline at the plate perspective, a power perspective, a stolen base perspective, and oh yeah, by the way, he pitches. Bonds played the field, right? He was a great outfielder, had a killer arm. He stole bases with the Pirates more than the Giants. The drugs made his head too big. He couldn't run as fast, but he still was an incredible athlete. It's a really interesting debate that's starting to rage across baseball as to like, okay, this guy now is the mantle of the GOAT is becoming real for Ohtani.
Well, yeah. And again, he has to keep doing it. I mean, it's a little bit too much. I mean, it's good to have the conversations because he's doing something that isn't being done. It was, by the way, 50-50 bobblehead night last night, celebrating his 50-50. And he homers twice. And just
6 RBIs.
How does he keep delivering? That's what I mean. Like he delivers in a clutch. You know, he delivers when it's a blowout. He delivers, all the time. And now all he's doing is hitting.
Yeah.
And, running the bases, obviously. Hey, I see Deeb in here. Deeb's a Dodger guy. Good to see you here, Deeb. LOL Zava. What?
Zava from Ted Lasso.
Oh, Sonic. Okay.
You see, he's talking about Zava. It was like this old unbelievable player that everyone was dreaming about coming in.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a storyline from Ted Lasso.
I don't know. Again, do you walk him? Do you not? We talked about that yesterday. I don't know what the defense is right now.
Nick Tom, I'm too young to know, but it's Bonds and it's not even close, right? Like Bonds had an eagle eye and discipline, and teams never pitched to him like they pitched to Ohtani. Well, again, Bonds became that guy that nobody pitched to, and then Bonds was the guy that hit the 70-plus home runs, and that was over a 2 or 3 year period. Ohtani's approaching that. Like he's getting close to the idea that you're not going to pitch to him. The problem with Ohtani, and we talked about this yesterday, like you can't walk him. You can't do to Ohtani what you did to Bonds.
Right.
Because Mookie Betts is going to make you pay. And then if he doesn't, Freeman's going to make you pay.
I'm trying to think who hit behind Bonds, like JT Snow or something. Like it
hit behind him
lineup.
Yep. Yeah. JT Snow was up for a couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Giants. Sure.
And if you guys are here watching and you remember, like, see who hit behind Bonds when he was in the Giants and hitting those home runs, because he sometimes would get one good pitch.
Jeff
and at
Kent.
that,
Remember
Jeff Kent was another guy. Yep. There you go.
That's right.
Okay.
Jeff Kent was there. Absolutely.
All right.
I mean, okay. So Francisco says Ohtani hit 19 less home runs than when he was a DH. Imagine if Bonds was a DH, not to imagine the intentional walk difference. Well, Ohtani also is coming off of Tommy John surgery. Like, I mean, like, remember why he was the full-time DH? Like, he's coming off of Tommy John surgery. So, like, I don't know. Like, he would normally pitch and hit in the same game. So, yeah, Bonds played in the field, but Ohtani was pitching and hitting in the same game. Wow. So, like, I don't know.
Oh, Benito Santiago was the catcher who hit behind him in 2002. Thanks, Nick Tom. Wow.
There we go.
Some classic names here for the Giants. That's
Buster
great.
Posey.
I don't know if Posey did. I think Posey came later after Bonds. I don't
Fair.
I don't think they were together.
Yeah. Fair. Imagine if Judd was only a DH. He should only be a DH, to be quite honest. He's not that good in the outfield. I mean, he's okay.
Does playing outfield really take a lot out of you?
Only if your team sucks. Like if you're running around after balls a lot, then yeah. But if your pitchers get the job done, then no.
I guess. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you're standing out in the sun,
shagging flag balls. That's all you're doing.
I don't know. Yeah.
You mentioned it. Mets Yankees. Miguel against Rondon. Yankees -1. 140, but the story is obviously Juan Soto. What's the reception that Soto gets tonight at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx?
I don't know how those people are going to react.
I'm gonna boo the holy hell out of him. What are you talking about?
Are they?
Yes.
Is he there long enough for them to be that mad about it?
100%. He took the biggest
$765 million.
That's why they're going to boo him.
Well, that wasn't the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees didn't offer him that money.
Yeah, and that's what. Think about it when a Pirate player leaves and goes. Even 1 year, Pirate player goes and signs a bigger contract.
Don't remind me.
He comes back. What happens? He gets his ass booed.
Not necessarily. Everybody understands that's the deal.
No, they do not. They boo. You said no to playing in your team's laundry. You're booing him. Yankee Stadium's booing Juan Soto. 100%. There's no video like tribute coming because of a 1 year thing. There's no like, oh my gosh, he's back. But they're booing him tonight. They are booing him tonight.
That game is going under.
Really?
Yeah.
Under 9.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
McGill's been really good.
Now, on the other side,
yep,
Chris Sale will get cheered tonight at Fenway.
Yeah.
Sale will be cheered. Absolutely. Yes. Chris Sale gets a standing ovation tonight from Red Sox fans. It's not the first time he's pitched against Boston, though, but he is still going to be, he'll always be remembered positively.
Second freeze, 1 hour and 6 minutes into the show with eyes closed. Come back. Man, that was weird because you froze like this.
Yeah.
Awoke.
Hi. Yeah. He won a championship. And whenever you win a ring,
you're good.
In a Red Sox uniform, you're good. No matter what happened afterwards, you won a championship. Yeah. So him coming back. And you've got the new version of Chris Sale going tonight in Garrett Crochet.
We'll get to bet it or book it here in a second.
Yep.
But if I say under 8 minus 120 is probably the average price right now in this game. And do you bet it or book it? Because I like under.
Book it.
You think it's going over?
Because of the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's a real big problem right now. I mean, it's a monumental problem at the moment. Sale's good to give up 3. So, I mean, the Pirates scored 3 on Chris Sale.
Okay.
In his last start. So I think the Red Sox score 3. Oh, and then I think Crochet probably gives up 2, maybe 3.
DraftKings is watching a show. They just moved it to 7.5.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome, boys.
Oh, I love
just
the over.
moved it to
7.5. I like even more over on that.
Okay.
7.5. I'll take the over between those
there
two
you
teams
go.
at Fenway Park. Ooh. And Sale. Yeah. Energy in that building. 5-3 final. Probably somewhere in that range. Red Sox need to win in a big, big way. Boy,
I have a side for you too. Bet it or book it in a baseball side.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on to it for just 1 second because we need to hit the stinger first.
Wasn't the bet it or book it stinger?
Nope, because that's later in the show.
Oh, I thought we were doing bet it or book it in the middle. Okay,
we are next. You know,
all right. Yeah,
it's after this, but someone made a request for the stinger. So,
oh, okay, good.
We thought it was there. I love it. It's just called the stinger. Like everyone knows what the stinger is. There's no question about like which stinger are we talking about.
No.
Talking about the stinger.
That
would be the Brigade proxy service NFL story of the day.
Yeah.
What will you be doing on December 20th, Dave? December 20th, Saturday. Have you seen what's going to be played?
Yeah, busy day.
This is ridiculous. We can't space this out. We have 3 first-round college football games.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles and the Commanders, and the Packers at the Bears. These games are all head-to-head.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, I mean, depending on who's in those playoff games, I would say I won't be watching Packers-Bears.
Really?
Yep.
No interest in Packers-Bears, really?
I don't think we'll have much things going on, ramifications in that game.
It's good. It's a good if you're a football fan, you're in love. Multiple TVs, you're in love. But here's the weird thing. When the NFL put the schedule out, they actually leaked it to Friday. And then they said it was a glitch.
Oh.
And they moved it to Saturday. But some are speculating that maybe the NFL is toying with the idea of getting away from the college football playoffs and playing on Friday night in December because high school football is not played on Friday night in December. Could you imagine a Friday night college or a Friday night NFL football game?
Yeah, it'll probably be wonderful. Messes up their routine again. It'll probably be in a cold venue.
Well, think about it. It's the
it'll
only
be
day.
trash.
It's the only day other than Black Friday, which we've had one game on Black Friday.
Yep.
Friday is the only day the NFL really hasn't experimented with.
Well, they did last year. The game in Brazil was on a Friday. They played Thursday opening night, and they played Friday after
That's
that.
right. Okay.
They
That's
play
true.
on Thursday on Thanksgiving. They play on
Black Friday. Right. They do that
right?
now.
Was
But this
Christmas
is a regular
on a Friday?
This is no holiday, right? This is not like the start of the season, kind of a holiday. After Thanksgiving, a holiday. This is December 20th.
Right.
This is like you play on the December 19th is just a Friday in December, and we're going to play a game on Friday.
Can we just play football on Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
No,
I just want to go back to that.
Nope.
They'll have monster audiences.
They will.
They're never getting rid of Thursday, and I've
Nope.
accepted it. I don't need games on Wednesday. I don't need games on Friday. I really don't. It's enough.
Sorry. It's not happening. I think it's going to be a really
I'm good with the college football on Friday, like for the playoff games.
Oh,
We did that last year, right? We did the shows at Resorts World on Thursday and Friday. You know, the first game was on Thursday night, the second game was on Friday night. It was awesome.
okay. So first round, they must consider that to be the play-in, not the first round because the buys. Is that right?
I don't know.
I got to remember how we did that because there were only 2 games. No, we went to Resorts World for the Final Four. That's what we did.
Thursday, Friday. It was awesome.
Yeah, the Final Four games. Yeah. That's what we did. The Final Four games for the NFL for college football. So that's what we did. Right. Thursday, Friday. There was a game standalone Thursday, standalone Friday. Right, for that. This is 3 games on Saturday and NFL games on Saturday. 2 games in the NFL and then a full slate the next day on the 21st, a full slate of NFL football games. I think it's going to be such an interesting thing to look at this as to what happens ratings wise, because the NFL is not comfortable with this because, I mean, if you're asking me, what do I want to watch, a college football playoff game or a regular season NFL game? I'm watching college.
Or Tennessee, Jacksonville. Like these
are good games. Eagles Commanders is a great game.
I'll watch that game.
That's an awesome game.
I will watch that game. But the fatigue by the time it gets to Bears Packers, and the Bears have a losing record most likely going into that.
Nice.
I'm just saying. So what are we watching? I don't know. The NFL smoked college football playoff last year when they were head to head. Did they really, Jimmy Jack?
Yeah, I think he's right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, bigger markets. It's easier to do that in big markets. And also who's playing matters too. And those playoff games stunk. If you remember, the playoff games were blowouts.
Oh, yeah. Penn State played SMU. It was not a good game.
Tennessee blowout. Like there were so many. Ohio State.
Tennessee got crushed, right, by Ohio State.
There were so many blowouts in the early part of the college football playoffs that it was easy because the NFL games were competitive. College games were not competitive.
Mr. Wobble, I like you too, but man, oh man, he said I thought I liked you, Dave. I didn't mean to besmirch the Bears this early in May. They'll do that themselves later. I mean, come on. I mean, you got the guy talking to writers about playing in the UFL. It's your quarterback. The Pope can't help you. Sonic, the Pope will be watching that Bears game. I don't think the Pope can help the Bears.
No.
I don't think he can.
Now it's time. Better to book. One of these games is already underway, so I apologize. But here is I got to the point where I got bored again. I'm in that point where I'm like, I have had a very good 6-week run, and I'm going to cool off at some point. So like I'm waiting for the cliff because I think I'm up 28 units since April 1st. So like
that's good.
I'm on like a nuclear path. Like I've made up all the money I lost. I've done very well. So I'm kind of bored. So I went and did, okay, what are the 4 bets in baseball I have made this year the most consistently? And I'm going to parlay them all together.
Okay.
So I'm going to fade the White Sox.
Okay, good.
And bet the Cubs.
They're up 6-3. That's good.
I'm going to fade the Rockies.
Fair.
And bet the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
I'm going to fade the Pirates, and I'm going to bet the Phillies.
Haney going to give you a sweat. He's
I would
lefty
agree.
and his pitch is good. Haney's left.
I agree. I would agree.
Okay.
And then under 4.5 runs for the Royals because they have been consistently going under 3 runs and 3.5 runs like they did yesterday when I bet under 3.5 and it cashed again. And JC from KC has been blindly betting this, and I've been trailing him for the last couple of days. And this has been a very good bet. I know it's a little scary today for the Royals and the Cardinals, but Royals under 4.5 team total for a plus 389 parlay.
That might actually hit. For not a parlay Friday, that might actually hit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's not horrible.
I've never seen this before in my life. I went to the book this morning.
Yeah.
Just to say hello to someone and just get a feel for what they liked for the Preakness or whatever. And I picked up the sheets, right?
Okay.
So here's the baseball sheet today. Can you see what that says for the Royals, the Rockies pitcher today? Can you see that? It says
any pitcher. Yes, any pitcher.
Any pitcher.
So it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter who
it is. The price on this sheet says Arizona Diamondbacks C. Burns minus 430. And it says Rockies any pitcher plus 330. This is laugh out loud funny. I'm saving this sheet. Any pitcher is plus 330.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I just thought that was awesome. I said this is something. I'm going to talk about this on one of the shows I do today. Because I like looking at the pitchers' names and trying to mispronounce them and all this other stuff.
Right.
But it said any pitcher, and the other line was minus 430. I was like, wow, how bad is that? Oh, how bad is that?
It's one of the more ridiculous things right now in baseball because the Rockies simply cannot beat anybody, and the books are throwing their hands up. They don't know what to do. I've seen books say, okay, we're not even giving you a money line price. You have to bet the run line. Like, we're not letting you take money line parlays here. We're not going to allow you even to have a shot after that. Yeah, Burns to record was minus 125 to get him to win.
Wow, that's good. Burns to record the win was only minus 125.
Yeah, but he may come out of the game. It's 3-3, and then the bullpen comes in. They blow it. I mean, it's Rockies. Betting against the Rockies on the run line's been extremely profitable to go ahead and jump in on that. Yeah. So that's the parlay of the day. Celtics team total first half over 52.5.
Low.
Very low.
It's the lowest number of the tournament or lowest number of the playoffs for them.
Ties the lowest number, yes. And they didn't go over. When it was 52.5, they fell 45.
I was going to say they scored in the 40s, yeah.
Yep, didn't come anywhere near it. But this is just
that the way this game plays out tonight to the under?
It's the only way Boston wins if they have over on this. If it goes to the under, the Knicks win.
Right.
Boston's got to hit a bunch of shots.
I like the game over.
Okay. Game 5 flew over.
Yeah, I went on with Bob Baskerville and Sam down in Knoxville today, and they asked me about the total in this game, and I said I like the over. So I guess I like Celtics team total over. I say this is a bet too.
Okay. And then finally, I'm going to get greedy, and I'm going to bet the Panthers on the puck line and take the plus 115.
It's fine. I think that should be good. The Panthers are winning tonight. Sorry, Toronto people. It's nothing personal. Be very, very surprised. If Toronto can somehow pull this off, be complete. The goalie has to stop every shot. They have to win 1-0 or 2-1. That's the only way they're winning. I think.
Yeah.
Puck line is what, plus or minus 120?
I got plus 115 last night.
Okay, all right. So you got plus money. That's good.
Yeah.
I think they'll be looking to put in as many open nets as they can.
Yeah, end of the series. Toronto's going to pull the goal early. They're going to have open net opportunities. I think it could. It was 6-1 last game, so Toronto's going to be nervous. They haven't. They're going to be trying to score as much as possible. They need to generate offense in the worst possible way. 1 goal in 2 games for Toronto. 2-0 and 6-1 last 2 games.
My baseball side for you, and better to book it.
Okay.
The Detroit Tigers are minus 112 today.
Yep.
Solarity's pitching.
Yep.
maybe minus 115 in places.
Yep.
Detroit's one of the best teams in baseball. They're going against
Best in the American
Toronto.
League.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know Flaherty's got a, let's say 4.81 ERA. He's 1-5.
Tigers.
It's Tigers or nothing. It's better to book it if I say Tigers.
Bet it.
Okay.
Tigers. Yeah, I like Tigers, definitely. I mean, they're hot. They're red hot. Their lineup. I mean, Javi Baez, where the hell did this come from? Like, he is on fire.
Keep
right
him out
now.
center field, just
Yeah.
catching balls, and then you just hit. You're fine. You don't need to be worrying about turning into double plays and then all that stuff in the infield. Just stand out there. Tigres, baby. Tell him, Daniel G. Yeah.
On absolute fire at the moment. Guys, we're doing our prop bet of the day, news of the industry, and then we'll do a lot of Roll Call Friday. A lot of Roll Call Friday will be during bonus time. We'll start it here, obviously, on the main show, but then a lot of it will be on bonus time, just FYI. So stick around. Stay ready. We're going to have bonus time. Roll Call Friday coming up during bonus time. But first... All right, I'm going to go a little off the beaten path, and maybe you would think I would not bet this, but I'm going to bet the under on Luke Cornett, 8.5 points tonight against the Knicks. This guy only got 10 in his last game, came out of nowhere. This prop normally was 4.5 this whole series.
It's 8.5 now.
Okay, now it's 8.5 because of what he did and how much playing time he's getting, frankly, because Porzingis is a disaster. So he's getting a lot of putback dunks. But I'm just going to go contrarian on this and say Luke Cornett's not going to be allowed to do what he did in game number 5, because if they let Luke Garnett beat them, if this is the reason why the Knicks lose game 6 is because this guy is a force offensively for Boston, I'm good with it. I'll lose the money. I'm good. But I think this number is too high. Under 8.5, better to book it.
I think it's a bet. I'm surprised it moved that much.
He's playing way more minutes, obviously. I mean, that's why.
Did his minutes double? Because this double.
Yeah, it's way over. Like, he's playing way more. Now, if Porzingis plays and takes his minutes, fine. But Cornett was on the court. He's not going to get 7 blocks again. That would be unbelievable, but he's not doing that again. But I just think this is one of those games where nobody in America knew who Luke Cornett was before game 5.
Right.
And now it's game 6. And, like, the Knicks are going to have a game plan. They'll be ready for Luke Cornett.
Jeez, I don't know if I'd have moved it that far. You know, when you told me he was playing more,
yeah,
it was 4.5. I think 7.5 is a fair move. So maybe 7.5. I feel a little more is the number.
Some books have been bet down to 7.5.
Yeah, that's the number for me.
Okay.
I'd say bet that.
Okay. News of the industry. I love stories like this. I love when we get a news story, and we were telling you this, I don't know, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Sports books and stadiums are bad ideas. They're now figuring this out. That arenas who have sports books, they're going, where is everybody? Because nobody's coming in to be a part of this. Because why are you having a book in a building that you can bet on your phone? It doesn't make any sense.
It's a great question.
It doesn't make any sense.
You go to an event. You have everything you need on your phone to make bets. You're at the event. Think about this. You can see everything wherever you're sitting at the event. Instead, you're going to go to some room at the event in the stadium that is not watching the field of play.
Right.
To watch it on TV and bet at a counter. Who thought this would be a good idea? You're fired. You're all fired. I try to tell you this. The Vegas sportsbook experience was first.
Yep.
Different. No one else had it.
Yep.
It's very hard to recreate that in pick a state. Arizona, Illinois.
Yeah, but why? I mean, look, if you go through the number of events that we've gone to that have sports books at them, Wrigley Field, the big toaster in Phoenix. There's LA. I guess not a sports book in LA, but there was in Arizona and there was in Chicago. Like you want to go to the game, not the book.
Yeah.
The book being there, it doesn't need to be a large area. It needs to be 2 or 3 windows. Like it needs to be like a horse track. Like I'm going to go watch the race at the horse track. I'm going to go bet at the window. Then I'm going to go watch the race. I don't need all these TVs. I don't need all of this, furniture everywhere. It's not why we're there. We're there to watch the game. And so we've seen it, at the Great American Ballpark. They packed up shop, said we're done. There's more and more. I mean, when you're at the FanDuel Sportsbook at the United Center in Chicago, you can't place a bet. Like, why am I in there? Like, what's the point? Like, oh, you can bet on your phone. I'm like, yeah, but why are you paying all this money here for marketing? Okay, but doesn't a billboard do the same thing? How much is all this space costing you to rent, to run, to staff?
It's a lot.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's a lot of money that they spent. And I literally told people, and again, I'll take some consulting fees. If somebody wants to do that, just reach out to me. sportsbeatcakeinsig@gmail.com is my email. I'm not sure I'll answer it, but you can reach out. I'll get to you at some point. If you're going to use the sportsbook at the venue as a means to get deposits and or questions answered, customers familiar with your app, whatever it is, branding exercise,
yeah,
you got a shot. But if you think you're actually going to do legit handle, like people like me are going to walk up with a rubber band and cash and bet and hang out, when there's a game is one thing, but when there's no game, I ain't coming. Nobody's coming. So you have this space for what? The books open. I mean, they're in Vegas. They're open 365. There's not a day the sports book isn't open because there's games going on and there's bets and there's different things.
Right.
It was never going to work. They didn't listen then. They put it in places. There's a lounge at the Devil's Arena. There's nobody ever in there. We were at the one in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Now, I thought it was really nice.
It's the only book in the city. The difference there is that DK is the only book in the entire city of Chicago at the moment.
Yeah.
Others might be allowed. It just happens to be at Wrigley, but there's one book in the whole city. So it kind of makes more sense why DK built what they built at Wrigley Field. But it's still, we were there on game day. Like, it's not overflowing with people. There's people in there, but it's not, people are still going to the game and betting on their phone.
They are. And it was convenient for me. I went and, put cash in the machine and,
right.
I didn't have to sign up. I didn't have to download the app. I'm that guy. I don't want to do that because I don't want the emails and the barrage of all this other stuff. I just walked up, put cash in the thing, punched a couple tickets and left and went and watched the game. Me, you, Zayd, and Wally. It was awesome. It was fantastic. Would I go there just for that? I don't have tickets to the game. Am I going to drive down to Wrigleyville, hang out, have a couple drinks, and run up to the counter and make bets? I don't know. I did it in Arizona, the DraftKings Sportsbook in Arizona. It's very nice. Great restaurant. Food was good right next to TPC. Did it need to be there? I don't know, but you better have good food. I mean, you better have, it's a restaurant.
Yes, it's a sports book that is,
it's a
restaurant dressed up like a sports book. Yeah.
With windows.
Yes.
That's what it is. I mean, Chicky and Pete's is awesome. You can run up and ask the guy, questions, or you can make deposits in your account. You can make bets at the window and sit at Chicky and Pete's and have dinner. It's great, but it's a restaurant and bar first. And I think that's what arenas didn't understand at the beginning.
Right. They thought people were going to run to the window and bet, and no, they're going to bet. By the way, speaking of Wally, the Red Sox just made it official. The Wally the Green Monster City Connects are a real thing.
Wow.
It's actually real. That color green, the green monster green.
Okay. Another freeze. 3 freezes today. If you bet the over number of freezes for Matt, cash that ticket too. Every time he goes to move something, Hold on, you back? There, you're back. All right, now you're good. Yeah.
I just can't believe it. I can't believe they're actually going to pull it. It looks so ugly.
Right.
I appreciate the history. I appreciate what it means. It doesn't mean those guys have to wear that color green. Like, it doesn't mean the Red Sox need to wear that color green. Like,
I don't think the Red Sox fans will like that. I
Nope.
know that some didn't like the yellow.
Oh, I did in the beginning.
I loved it.
I didn't like it in the beginning, and then I got into it and liked
Right.
it. And there really isn't any. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, because I think if you grow up where we grow up and you're driving on the Mass Pike and you see Fenway Park and you see the back of the Green Monster and you see that color green, that will always be associated with the Red Sox. You will always think Boston. You always think Fenway Park when you see that color green. It doesn't mean the uniforms have to be that color green. It doesn't mean you have to wear that color green on your body for it to really embody what it means to be a Red Sox player. Again, I loved, after like a half a season, the Boston Marathon City Connect really resonated. I was like, that's awesome. I really got into it. I loved it. Maybe this will do the same thing. Maybe I'll grow into it. As of right now, don't know if I'm going to be growing into it.
Rainmaker 512 said that DK book was fat as hell.
Yes, it was.
You know, at Wrigley, he was with us. Eric, our on-site producer, and maybe producer again, for depending on how things go. We'll see. East, stay ready. He just said Volbeck's just put kiosks around the arena stadium if you want action. That's true, but a lot of times if the kiosk doesn't work,
also
to be serviced,
and they don't like that because you have to watch out for kids using it.
Correct.
So that's a problem.
If you put the kiosk in one central area, you can have surveillance in that area and people watching that area. So there's no chance of underage stuff. Sonic the Wrench said physical books are kind of wonky outside of markets like Vegas. Arizona ain't too bad as we have native casinos around. Those are nice. They're ghost towns a lot of days.
Yep.
You have to understand that just because you can go and make a bet at a physical location doesn't mean that's going to draw people in.
I would agree. It is time, guys. We have hit that part of the week where you guys get recognized as being part of the Brigade. We love all of you, and this is our chance to say thank you and to talk to you guys put you on screen. We call it Roll Call Friday. What is really fun about what we're doing these days is that almost everything that I play on the screen is not us. It's a Brigade member in some form or fashion.
It's amazing.
It's tied to you guys in the audience.
Yeah.
Whether it be Sonic or One Star or somebody, it's truly a really cool thing about how much of a collaborative effort this show has now become.
It's phenomenal. And it's huge. Like, we feel it.
Oh,
we really, really feel it. And, my favorite thing about today will be the end, but we'll do Roll Call Friday right now. You guys keep showing up. I say it all the time. I posted, came up in my feed today, Hardball, the movie. Your ability to continue to show up never ceases to amaze me. And we do it significantly as a group. This is fun as hell on Fridays, when we do it. It's good to see all of you here. Started off with Fish like this, 313, and actually a pure Michigan, 83 and sunny here. Less than 2 weeks until Vegas. Hope to be the first to sign up for the Circa Millions this year with hashtag Brigade Proxy. We hope so too. We'll keep you posted, Fish. Can't wait to see you when you get to town. Looking forward to it. Yes, looking forward to it. Jimmy Jacka 4Ks. First time for a Roll Call Friday since I moved to 615 Nashville, Tennessee.
very
Loving
nice.
it here. Great to hear. Love the show, fellas. Hashtag BvB.
Very
Good job,
cool.
Jimmy
Hope to be
Jack.
back in
Congrats on the
Nashville.
move. Nothing wrong with Nashville. We had a great
No.
time when we were there 2 months ago. It was
It's
great.
awesome.
Fish Killer 73, 540 Roanoke, Virginia. Severe thunderstorm warning, 69 degrees, raining sideways, but it's all good because I just planted some maters. Happy Friday, Brigade. I don't know what a mater is.
No, no, what's a matter? No idea.
No idea. There's Rainmaker Lou, my man, 412 Pittsburgh, PA. Love you, bro. Good to see you. PB, another guy. Love you, brother. 941 Venice, Florida, 89 degrees, sunny, happy old-fashioned Friday. Go Celtics, go Pats. Love it. Always here.
Pats
Thank
is
you.
we'll get to. Celtics tonight. Full throttle.
Relax.
Full throttle on the Celtics.
Relax. CBW 315 Oswego, New York, 62 sunny degrees. Oklahoma 5-peat. College softball, baby. We'll have it locked in. We'll be morning until night. It'll be on the TVs here. So
They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Damn.
Yeah. Phenomenal. And a little girl that we coached at a very young time here in Vegas committed to go there next year. She moved to Southern California,
right?
Because her parents thought we got to get somewhere where they're going to get somewhere.
Okay.
She moved there. She's going to Oklahoma. Wow. We can't believe it. It's going to be wild seeing her on TV. Hopefully she makes it. 508 in the house. Mikey Parsons on the X Twitter. Thank you, sir. That's Massachusetts, isn't it?
Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. Sonic the Wrench. Happy Roll Call Friday. 602 Phoenix, Arizona. Good to see you, Sonic. As always, great work with all this stuff. The stingers and everything have changed the show. Just fantastic. I love it. Hatfield, 734 Canton, Michigan. First Roll Call Friday. Welcome. Go Tigers. Absolutely go Tigers. Tonight, tomorrow, the rest of the season. We got reasons for that. Jordan 1-star Goroff, 702 Vegas. Playing Revere and Henderson in about 90 minutes.
Golf course.
Wow. All right.
Good course. Fun course. Named after Paul Revere.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get out there with 1-star at some point.
That's a tremendous.
Golf
that's a good omen. 1-star. You're playing the Boston golf course here in Vegas. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's good. I like it.
All right.
On a big Friday.
Vinny Konwinski, 260 Fort Wayne. Beautiful and 84. Great night for baseball. Get those kids out there. Get another W, baby. Rain, stay away. Jimmy Football, good to see you here, sir. 416 Toronto. Sunny and warm. Lots of love to the Brigade.
Wow.
I got the Maple Leafs hat. I hope we've been talking about it after tonight, but I don't think so, Jimmy. I don't think so.
Leafs fall in this.
Looks nice, too. I love that hat. Done.
Sorry.
Terrible.
Sorry.
Dave's Daily Picks, sports betting tips. 317 Lebanon, Indiana, and the Celtics in 7. Without JT, they are better. Wow.
In my case, it's not. He's not alone.
I think he wants to see, as a Pacers guy, he wants to see the Celtics. He thinks they're more susceptible to beating the Celtics.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I think Indiana's got a great shot against both, against Boston or New York. I think Indiana's got
Indiana live.
Yeah,
Indiana live. Joseph Myers still here. 913 Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, known for one thing: correctional institutions, both federal and military. He's holding it down there for all of us. Thank you very much, Joe C. Myers, for being here and for all of your work.
Bless you,
Seriously.
man. That is a hard place to live. That is a difficult market to be in.
Oh.
There is nothing, and I mean there's the reason why there's prisons. There's nothing around Leavenworth, Kansas.
You think our show would work in a prison?
I would. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. You say that. I mean, you know that I don't think I've ever told you that. It's actually one of like my ever since I saw Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash's album Folsom Prison, when he played Folsom Prison at Folsom Prison, that would be unbelievable. To do a live show out of prison to talk sports betting. And I want to talk to the guys who are behind bars who got busted for betting and booking and get them on air to talk about you're in jail for the shit that is legal now. How do you feel about that? I want that guy's reaction. Because I know what my grandfather would say.
Oh, Stugatz. There's no question about that. Yeah, that'd be Maron. I don't know. We'll have to really talk about that. I don't know. We have to get the whole security force. Mikey Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Bond V, Stevie Mac, everybody.
Like Roadhouse. We need like that like wall that like.
Oh, there's no question about that.
The glass wall as they throw bottles at us.
I was joking when I said it, but now that you said it, I mean.
Oh no, I would
they
love
want to sponsor the show. It'd be great
to do a show from a prison. I would, especially if it's like a white collar crime prison where there's people who are in there for bookmaking or betting. Oh, sign me up. Let's go.
Might be a little uncomfortable, but okay, yeah. Well, listen, we'll worry about that.
Johnny Cash did it. Why can't we? Let's do it.
Johnny Cash could play, son.
So can we. So can we.
Can't play no music.
Don't matter.
They'll be looking at us like, what are these two idiots talking about now? We'll do this Roper one, and then you'll get us out here, and we'll finish at bonus time. Kevin Roper, looking great in the avatar as always. 601 Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 92 and sunny. Feels like 101 with the 50% humidity, though. Summer is here in the south. Woo! That's steamy.
Our first 100-degree day hits in 7 days here in Vegas. So we are right behind you. We are about to get ourselves into a hot one. If you guys are with us live, don't move. More Roll Call Friday on the other side. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for being here. Remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you'll have a best of on the replay side, back live with a new one on Thursday and on Friday. Be watching at Boston versus the Book for some fun stuff as well. So we'll have some content that we'll put out during the break for 3 days. But for you guys live, bonus time starts now. Okay. Make sure we're picking right back up.
Roper was the last one.
Yep.
There's a man, J. Dow Bets, 410 St. Michael's, Maryland. Let's hit the try tomorrow, fellas, heading to the Preakness in the AM. There's Mrs. J. Dow. You guys look great. I'll text you later. Send me the play. What you're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Because at some point, I've never been to the Preakness, and I want to go. So not this year, but we'll work on it. It'd be a good goal to have, to maybe get there, either do a show from there or something. St. Louis, Ray, 314 St. Louis, sitting in the basement waiting for a tornado warning to expire. Lots of hail.
Been there.
Wow. Stay safe, St. Louis, Ray. And I love the tweets when you ask me and Matt, or give us what we're talking about. Too much football yesterday. Kept the football to a minimum for you today, St. Louis, Ray. Just keep showing up, brother. Thank you. We love it all. JPC the fourth, what's up, bro? $10. Thank you for the super chat. 313. May as well hit the stinger again. It's easy. I mean, for the 10 spot, you hit it. Boom. That's it. You ask, you get it. Thank you, JPC the fourth. Appreciate the hell out of you.
Can't even yell at me about that.
No.
Somebody else.
No.
There's a hardball clip in the opening credits. That's true.
Absolutely.
Sonic.
Yes. That's what makes me think about it. It was one of my favorite movies of all time. It had good things, sad. It was great. I love watching it. I watch it all the time. It's just something to do. There's Andy Cast at 928. Good to see you, Andy.
Where's that?
That's probably back in Milwaukee.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, he's in Wisconsin. So
Very
he's
nice.
back and forth all the time between 702 and here. Say hi to Ash, Andy. Eron Shaw, 703, Centerville, Virginia. 86 degrees, humid, muggy degrees. Love y'all. You as well. Right back at you, Eron. Daniel G, what's up, brother? 989, Shepherd, Michigan. 84 and driving home shirtless. My God, I love springtime. You sexy mofo. You ain't got no shirt on in the car. Did you ever do that? I used to do that all the time. Oh,
it just sucks when you have to put the seatbelt on because it rips your nipple off.
Yeah, back in the day when you drove without driving with a seatbelt, remember that?
Back in the day.
Kids don't
I'm 40. I'm 48. We didn't have those days.
There were times I drove without a seatbelt when I was 16. No.
It's brilliant.
35 years ago. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do.
Smart.
I mean, nobody wore the seatbelts that much back
That's
then.
what I mean. Everyone wore seatbelts when I was growing up.
Yeah.
In my day.
Well, I don't know. I had a convertible and I drove without the shirt on.
Smart.
All the time. Yeah.
There you go.
Sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy. Vic Ferrari, you're sexy too, man. 317, home of the championship bound Indiana Pacers and Indiana Fever. Man, ain't that something?
Maybe.
That place will be a zoo.
Maybe.
Baskerville said next week's the Indianapolis 500.
Yep. Memorially.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And there's going to be a home game for the Pacers at night.
Neat.
Gonna be popping.
Fun day. Fun day in Indy. That's cool.
Day. Deuce Daly, 978, Lowell, Massachusetts. About to hit the links. Have a great weekend, Brigade. You do the same. Deuce, love the dog with the hat.
Hit him
Always
straight.
looking good. Volbex, what's up? E702 Vegas. Enjoying my lunch on break, watching the show.
Awesome.
We love that. We have a lot of guys that do that. Never really realized that, but we have a lot of guys that do that. Gio DeWap, 949, Seal Beach. Headed to watch some Freeway Series Major League Baseball tonight with the kid. That's awesome. Go Celtics. I don't know if that's awesome, but we'll see. I hope we do get the Celtics to win. They got to have a game 7. My man in Hemet, 951, Hemet, California. Getting sunny out here. Francisco Ochoa. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here, as always. Santana, sunny, 90 in the 928 Yuma, Arizona. Keep doing your thing, Brigade. Absolutely keep doing your thing. Black Pearl, what is this? 605? Aberdeen, South Dakota?
Check it.
Put that on the map. Excellent. We needed that one. 2 days ago was 90. Now it's 49. Black
Damn.
Pearl. That's ridiculous.
That's the Midwest. That's
ooh,
Nebraska. That's Iowa.
Man,
I
son.
do not miss that. That is.
I don't know how you found the show Black Pearl, but keep showing up, brother.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you very much. Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Packer fan looks like is wearing a Packer hat.
Fantastic.
Very
Love
cool.
it. There's Coot, Ryan Coot, 660 Tipton, Missouri. Gorgeous. 82 degrees on a golf course. Enjoy the weekend, Brigade. Do the same, Coot. Yorkie Morris, my man, 702 Enterprise, Nevada, 83 degrees, light breeze, and EDC weekend. The freaks come out at night. Have a great weekend, Matt and Dave. Yeah.
What do you mean? The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out during the day. That's the problem.
They're out everywhere. They're here.
I wish it was at night. They're not at night. They're during the day. Like you see these people, you're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's a different weekend. It's a very, very different weekend. One of the
Did you see what the
things I ever
Westgate's
did.
doing? The Westgate's fucking handing out overdose packages. These overdose Narcan packages, like to help you if you OD on drugs this weekend. I'm dead serious.
Kids aren't leaving the house the whole weekend. Ain't nobody going nowhere.
They're handing out Narcan packages.
I
I'm
did
like,
not
what
know
are we
that.
doing?
No, I
Yes.
did not know that. No.
Westgate's like, yeah, because so many kids are ODing this weekend that they're here. Everyone goes to, you should have this on them. Like, yikes.
I don't want to think about that. I'm not
Right?
ready to think about that. No. Yeah. We volunteered once to work
EDC?
at EDC for volunteer for softball.
Fuck no.
And I said no politely. And the other parents that did
Yeah.
were MFing me because they're like, how did you know? And I'm like, how did you not?
Right. How did you not know that
What
was
did you
going
think
on?
this was going to be? You're just serving Cokes and stuff to people. What are you,
The
nuts?
fun starts at 3 a.m. These kids look forward to 3 a.m. Like that's when the party begins.
Yeah. I said, I'll get a second job and help pay for the softball. I ain't doing that. Chris S, 973 Wayne, New Jersey. Thanks, Matt, for the middle suggestion in the Jets Stars game. Won both yesterday. Perfect. Worked out perfect. That was great.
Yep.
You go under 5.5 and you can get the 4 and the 5 working and over 3.5 in these playoff games.
Cha-ching.
Excelente. Mikey, awesome. My man, Wrench. Love you, brother. 757 ODU Brigadeville, Virginia. Cleared for work by surgeon. Have a great weekend. I heart the BvB Brigade. Thank
Love
you,
you,
son.
bud.
Heart
to
you
see
back.
you.
Good
Thank
to
you,
see you back. Back strong. Ian Lights Out, 718 Brooklyn, 70 and cloudy, but my heart is in Carolina. Let's go, Canes.
Are we quoting songs now? This is what we're doing. We're doing James
You guys
Taylor
can do
songs.
whatever you want. This is great. Keep
Should
showing up.
we be singing alongside with you, a little James Taylor. All right, let's go.
Perfect. Active Rec.
New.
I've never seen you in here before. I love the avatar. It's great to see you. 626 Covina, California. Eating my lunch while watching you guys go Dodgers. Fantastic, Active Rec. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch. What's for lunch? That's good. Chef B, thank you for the super chat, brother. 401 Rhode Island, always forward, never straight. You're damn right. Have a fantastic weekend, Brigade. Go Celtics.
Amen.
Boston is the balls. I love when Gumpy tweets that kid saying that. Why the Celtics going to win? Because they're the balls. Nick Tom, 718 Brooklyn, rainy and trash weather takes me back to the 315. 315 is Miami.
Oh,
Isn't
there we
it?
go.
I think so.
Sure. Okay.
Marcella Onda, 504 New Orleans, Louisiana. Beautiful, hot 88 degrees. I tried to sell you a used car, but you rather ride the reindeer. Had to send the car to the salvage yard. Saints fans are still celebrating. Are they? Marcelo?
I don't understand that reference. Who's the reindeer?
Car.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know,
Derek
but
Carr, but who's
Derek
the
Carr's
reindeer?
out.
I know. Who's the reindeer? Because Rudolph is with your team.
Yeah.
Is that
No,
Rudolph?
try to send him to Pittsburgh. Yeah, we're riding with Rudolph. They tried to sell us a used car, is what he's saying. They tried to ship car to Pittsburgh.
Oh, he did.
And we're
Oh,
not having
okay.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we're not having
I
it.
thought he's a Saints fan.
He is. He's saying they tried to send car. We're riding
Oh,
with
I
Rudolph.
tried. Mean like my
Yeah.
team tried. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. Where's this? There we go.
Okay, bro. 617 Boston. Let's
What's
go
up,
see.
dude?
Enjoy the weekend, everyone.
In
Yeah,
the
the
city.
Boston's starting to pop. We're getting all the different 508, 617.
It's beautiful.
Alex, look at this sexy dude. Man, oh man, you're looking good, brother. Thank you for the super chat. A 937 Dayton, 80 and sunny. Have a great weekend, Matt and Dave. You do the same, Alex.
I like Dayton. Dayton's a really cool city. It's a basketball hotbed.
Drove through once, never been.
Basketball hotbed.
Yeah. Kevin Whitrock, thank you, sir. Good to see you as well. 319 Iowa City, 80 and sunny, always forward, never straight. Can't say you didn't make me any money for today's show. Love you guys. Hashtag BvB Brigade is always with you. Woo!
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Garrett Brown, 425, Kirkland, Washington, 58 degrees and gray.
Wait, you work at Costco
right now?
Wait, did you work at Kirkland or at Costco? Garrett, we need to talk. Costco's my favorite store. I love Costco. Like let's do something.
He's a real estate guy, though. I thought Garrett was a real estate guy.
Kirkland, Washington is why they have the Kirkland land. The Kirkland brand in Costco.
Okay.
It's because of Kirkland, Washington. So they have that's the Costco brand. It's Kirkland for stuff. So do you work in real estate or do you work at Costco? If you work at Costco, let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. I need to have a
conversation anyway.
I need to talk.
Zach Phelps, 740 Marietta, Ohio, first settlement in the Northwest Territory. Who knew that?
Wow. How about that?
Thank you, Z. I've never seen you in here either. That doesn't mean you've never been in here, but welcome if you have been in here before, and welcome back. If so. So that's great.
First time. Another recruit on Roll Call Friday.
From where? Francisco Carrasco, 501 Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Hey,
the original Las Vegas. Damn, ain't that the truth?
Well, it's horse racing central.
Right?
Hot Springs, Arkansas is horse racing 101.
First Roll Call Friday. Great show, fellas. Thank you, Francisco. That's awesome. Great for you to be here. And another map, another state on the map.
Yeah.
There's Lamvou, 212, New York City, right outside MSG. Place is buzzing for a game 6 to get to the conference finals. LOL. I tried to get Moose on today. Moose was very busy. I was going to have him on to talk from Madison
doing a live
Square
shot
Garden.
outside of MSG.
That was the plan, but he was very busy, and he was doing both. I think he was going to try to get over to Yankee Stadium.
Oh, wow.
And try to combo. I was like,
that's a hell of a
Moose, it's no big deal. We'll talk to you next week.
That's a hell of a parlay right there to do both of those.
T-Boyd, Tyrone Boyd, 202 Tyrone, got the fever, and go Pacers. How about that? Good to see you, Boyd.
Tonight, right? Opener for the Fever tonight?
Yeah.
Against Angel Reese, right? They knew what they were doing. Chicago and Indiana, right? Tonight?
No, they don't play tonight. It's Lynx, Wings, Dream, Mystics, Sparks, Valkyries.
Is Fever
tomorrow?
Sky tomorrow?
I think so.
Fever Skies tomorrow?
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
Ryan Andrew Fletcher, 703 Leesburg, Virginia. Working my ass off, but I made it.
Good to see
my man. Keep working. Ian Lights Out. Thanks for the super chat. Panthers. The hockey's ramping up, fellas. If you haven't been watching the hockey, you must watch the conference finals. They're going to be ridiculous. Wars.
Nikki wraps us up.
Nikki Ciramello down in the 520 Tucson, Arizona, 88 and sunny. Appreciate you guys in the Brigade. Always forward and never straight. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you, Nikki.
Appreciate and you guys, and this is a good point. 305 Syracuse. Thank you, Nick Tom. You guys can always do this. You always, if you have questions, you can fire questions. If you want us to guarantee to answer it, super chat. But when we have time, we will answer questions.
Yeah.
I like puck line in the under in this game tonight. What do you make of this game?
I like over.
Okay.
I think Panthers get 4 minimum, and I think I don't think Toronto gets more than 2.
I would agree. That's why 4-1 is under.
4-1 is under. 4-2 is over. But that could be 5. You know what I mean? So, do we skip the super chats and roll call? No,
I thought I got all of them.
I don't know.
We got.
Oh, that. Addison 812 B Town and Animal Abuse. See you next week.
We got them all. We got all the rest of them. That was the only one I didn't.
Chef B just said in the chat. I just saw the last one pop up. We skipped the super chats and roll call. Yeah, we got it.
We got that.
Chef B, we got you.
We got you. We got CP. We got CPC there. We got Alex's and we got Whitrocks, and then we got Ian Lights Out. We got everybody. The only one Addison was the only one we didn't get. That was the only one that we got to that. So
Gotcha.
We got them all.
Sky Fever Saturday on ABC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That they're revved up for that.
Wow.
Favorite thing about today. Favorite thing about today to wrap the week. Remember, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we are off for next week. More info coming later as to why. And then Thursday, Friday, we're back.
Yep.
Favorite thing about today's what? By
the way, Chris Otto just joined in late, 412 Pittsburgh, PA. Sorry to late join today. And Nate Irvine, great day, boys. Wife's surgery just ended well.
Oh,
and
shoot.
I get to see BvB and have a great weekend all. Thank
Hopefully
you.
Everything's okay.
Yes. My favorite thing about today is hope. We just going through some stuff and dealing with some stuff, and I thought just the hope of this show and you guys showing up and my excitement and just like walking around getting ready to do this show on Friday gave me great hope and just great. I feel just the positive energy that comes from doing this show. And I really value it. And it was the word of the day today. And I really appreciate every single one of you. And we're taking off next week and just have hope. That's all. That's just positive thought and hope and different things. And it just thank you. That's my favorite thing about today.
We will explain more on that next week, but there's a lot of stuff going on, guys. So we'll explain later, but there's a lot of things that we want to do the show in Thursday and Friday. So we'll hopefully be right back on, but you'll understand later.
Yep.
Two things. The first is congratulations to my daughter who today became a 6th grader. I had to remove myself and I had to go stand in the back because I was getting too emotional, and she gets very upset when I cry. So I was like, but it was the first time for me in that moment because a lot of things had happened. It was weird. So they have this multi-purpose room that my daughter has at her school. And it all kind of hit me that like the first time she was in there was as a 1st grader, and the path for her from 1st to 5th grade and everything that had happened. I was married when I first walked into that room, and then I was divorced in 5th grade. It's a divorce, and Madeline's mom and I we used to sit together. Now we're sitting apart, and I'm in the back and I'm watching my now 5'1" daughter who was, little teeny tiny in 1st grade, going to the orientation in that room as where she was going to spend the next 5 years. And so I was tearing up like crazy, and I had to go sit in the back, and I was like, I'm making a fool of myself because most of these parents, this is like their 2nd or 3rd time. This is my first time going through this, and I'm looking very much like a newbie going through it. But it was really fun to watch Madeline walk across the stage for the first time to graduate, to go become a 5th grader, which is really fun. So congrats to Madeline. And tomorrow, my niece, who was homeschooled, she never went to high school, but she graduated high school a year ago, and she's going to graduate, and she's giving the commencement address for her graduating class at Greenfield State Community College to get her associate's degree. And she'll be going to college next year as a junior. So she's already 2 years down of college before she leaves high school. And she will be giving the commencement address because she's the youngest kid to ever do this and the youngest kid of the graduating class. And so she will give the commencement address tomorrow to Greenfield State. So, so very proud of Olivia to go ahead and do that. And my brother and Ben and Liz are both super psyched to go and watch her graduate tomorrow. So big 48 hours for the Peralt clan for us here. So very cool to see how that's going to happen. So congrats to both Olivia and Maddie for graduating, and anyone else who's graduating. I know there's graduations all weekend. I've seen a bunch of people on social media posting pictures of their kids graduating. So
ours is next week. Kendall's is next week.
It should
100%.
be.
You
It's
can
dumb.
You can lay the yes on me crying 100%.
It should be. I mean, Madeline, they had her come in today to do the walk, right? To do the ceremony.
Yep.
And they have school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What's the
that.
point of that? Like, I don't
I don't
understand. Like, what you give the kid, hey, congratulations. Here is your promotion. Here is your, honor roll. Here's your all the things that you've accomplished in 5th grade. Now go to school Monday and Tuesday. Like, what are we doing? Like that, I think the way your school is doing it is far more logical. Like, when they leave and they graduate, like that's it. Bye. Like, I'll never see you again, type of thing. So I don't understand that at all. It made absolutely no sense to me at all. Guys, we hope to see all of you here on Thursday. Remember, we're off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but stay close at Boston versus the Book. We'll have some stuff. We'll post some content and other fun stuff. If you missed any part of the interview between Mike Joyce from FanDuel, we'll post that later today. If you missed today's conversation with Coach from UNLV, Josh Pascal, he was awesome. We'll post the full interview coming up tomorrow. So there'll be some stuff for you guys to watch and consume over the weekend and also for next week as we are off. He is Dave. I am Matt. We'll talk to you in a couple of days here for another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book.